We've talked a lot about conversions up to this point and just how important they are to evaluating the success or failure of your account. Depending on your business objectives, your conversions can be any desired action from a user, from making a purchase to subscribing to a newsletter or downloading a white paper or anything else in between. We've seen how we can use the conversion and cost per conversion data to find out which of your ads, keywords, ad groups, and campaigns are making or losing you money. And we know that there are a lot of things you can do to try to optimize for profitability. And this is where Conversion Optimizer can really help. I definitely suggest that you try this out as soon as you've accumulated enough conversion data to make this option available. In order to use this feature, you need to be collecting conversion data, and you have to have at least 15 conversions over the past 30 days. You also have to be receiving those conversions at a pretty steady rate from day to day. To use the Conversion Optimizer, you need to head over to the bidding options settings at the campaign level. And remember, changes you make here will affect all the ad groups in this campaign. So, as always, it's important that you spent the time early on organizing your account well. When you choose the Conversion Optimizer, you're no longer bidding for clicks or impressions. Instead, you're telling the system to get you as many conversions as possible according to your cost per acquisition, or the amount you pay for a conversion. To put this simply, if you make $20 on a conversion in profit, then that's your break-even point for your cost per conversion. If you can get conversions for less than that, you're making money. Any more, you'll be losing money. With the Conversion Optimizer, you have two choices: a max CPA bid or a target CPA bid. With max cost per acquisition bids, we're talking about the absolute maximum you'd be willing to pay for a conversion. And remember, just like with CPC max bids, what you actually end up paying for these conversions can end up being quite a bit different. Here, you can choose one of two settings. First, you can use the recommended maximum bid that AdWords figures out for you based on your past conversion rate and your current CPC bids. And if that doesn't work for you, you can use a custom bid instead. The second option is to set a target CPA bid, and if you select this, you'll be able to define a target cost per acquisition that you want AdWords to work towards. Again, you've got a recommended bid based on your past data, or you can define a custom target bid. And if you've used the Conversion Optimizer previously, you can go ahead and start with the last CPA bid that you were using beforehand. Now keep in mind, if you set a custom target CPA, you want to be realistic. If we're at $8.54 now, we probably don't want to put in a target of 10 cents. That's not going to be attainable. Once Conversion Optimizer has been activated, the system will automatically adjust your bids to get you the most conversions it possibly can for your budget and your CPA bid targets. Behind the scenes, it's actually building a profile for everyone who converts on your campaigns based on all the data that it's collecting. It uses everything from the browser the visitor is using to the time and the day of the visit to the language settings and even more. Now, when AdWords is figuring out whether or not to show your ad, it evaluates the individual against the profiles it has created and determines whether or not this user is likely to convert, and if it is, how much it would cost to position yourself for that click. If the user is assigned a low probability of conversion, the system will automatically bid lower to prevent wasting a click that's not likely to convert. But if that user is likely to convert, the system can raise that bid automatically. The bottom line is that this system is working for you, and it's got a lot of data points that aren't even exposed to you as an advertiser. We've been using this across many client accounts for years, and in our experience, it tends to do a pretty good job when you have very clearly defined conversions that you can clearly value as well. Now, of course, the more traffic you get and the more conversions you have, the bigger the data set. And because this is just building predictive models, the more data you have going into those models, the more accurate they become and the better a job Conversion Optimizer can do. So hopefully at this point, you can see how to use conversion data and the Conversion Optimizer to make sure you're getting something back for your advertising spend. Remember, whether or not you've spent your entire budget at the end of the day is not a good way to measure the success or failure of a campaign. The conversion data is the key to measurability, which is one of online advertising's greatest assets.